recording from the video game called Battlefield 1, and it perfectly portrays what trench warfare would be like in World War I. The story The Wars by Timothy Finley is a story about a young soldier in World War I who is constantly fighting with the enemies that his country is facing and battles with his personal life. This leads into psychological criticism. Robert is constantly facing mental battles with himself, especially after the loss of his sister, which he blames himself for not watching her. This affects him so much that he decides to join the army, and when he joins the army, he's forced to kill a horse with a gun to the head after he is injured in a fatal boat crash, crashing in the waves. This could be seen as psychological criticism because the horses could be seen as a deeper meaning. The meaning is freedom, and his freedom is taken away throughout the book when he is forced to go into battle and kill the enemies. Later in the story, he is forced to kill a German soldier in order to free many horses from a barn, and this also frees himself. Moving on to symbolism. Every time, or most times, someone dies in the story, there's a bird flying over, singing its song. This is related to the famous war poem, Flanders Fields, when in the poem it says, "The lark's still bravely singing, scared head aimed the guns below." The guns below are shooting because when a soldier dies in the field, at their funeral, other soldiers shoot guns into the air. And this quote explains how the lark is still there singing its song bravely. Finally, Unit 4 in the Grade 12 English course explains a war poet. A war poet is someone who served in the military and wrote his experiences. This is very important to the story of the wars because Timothy Finley got inspiration to write the book from his uncle fighting in the war and writing him letters. This was allowing him to further understand what the war was like to make the more in-depth version of his book. Also in Unit 4, Lesson 4, there's a short video called Men in Black, and this is a story about a man fighting in the modern war, and it portrays the same intense battle that is portrayed in the book, but only in the form of video. In conclusion, psychoanalytical criticism and symbolism both relate to the deeper meaning of freedom, which is a theme in the story The Wars, and these two things are both key features in the Grade 12 English course, and this is what I learned and how I related The Wars to the English course.